Hello students, welcome all of you in online lecture series of microprocessor and microcontroller subject. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is introduction to microcontroller, in which we will see what is microcontroller, what are the classifications, working, both the basic things which is related to microcontroller we will cover in this lecture. So today is our 18th lecture on this subject. My name is Pooja Subhashrao Deshmukh from International Center of Excellence in Engineering and Management College, Aurangabad. Today we are going to discuss these points, that is introduction to microcontroller. In that the classification of microcontroller depending upon the various points, that is bits, memory, instruction set also. Then what is the architecture of microcontroller, what are the components we use in that architecture, then what are the features, advantages and disadvantages of microcontroller, what are the applications in general or in embedded system, and what is the conclusion of all the parameters. So these points we will cover in this lecture. So let's get started one by one. First of all, introduction of microcontroller. You can see that in this figure there are many devices which is in microcontroller, that is oscillator, AD converter, RAM, microprocessor, program memory, input output peripherals. By combining all these devices we will design or we will create microcontroller. So microcontroller is particularly a small computer. It is nothing but a small computer, and it can be said to be a chip or it has a memory. So it is programmed that it can do the calculations. By using microcontroller we can perform different type of calculations. So it is also receive input and generate outputs. So this device, the controller has to exercise a certain degree of control or microcontrollers are present. Then display, the display characters of the different types and integers on a LCD display of an appliance in the use. So the gadgets which need the processing of processors like measurement, control display of information and calculation of the values have the microcontroller chip inside them. So in today's world they are present in most of the devices which we use at the home and in workplaces. So this is the basic things which is related to the microcontroller. Next we will see what is the classification of microcontroller. Basically it is classified in 4 types, that is first in bits, second is memory, third is instruction set, fourth is architecture, and again fifth one is depending on the family. So first in bits there are 4 types, that is 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit and 32-bit microcontroller. Then according to the memory it is divided into 2 types, that is external memory and embedded memory. Then in instruction set again it is divided into 2 types, that is RISC and CISC. Then by using architecture it is divided into 2 types, von Neumann architecture and Harvard architecture. So according to the family it is divided into 8051, Motorola, PIC, Texas, National, ARM and other. So in 8051 also it having some types, that is Intel, Atmel, Dallas, Philips, Siemens. These are 8051 families. So according to this is the classification of microcontroller. Next we will see what is the architecture of microcontroller. This architecture consists of the blocks, that is interrupt control, 4K byte of ROM, 128 byte of RAM, timers, timer 0 and timer 1, then CPU, oscillator, bus control, input output ports and serial ports. By combining all these blocks we design an architecture of microcontroller. So the fundamental and primary part of the microcontroller is a central processing unit or CPU, which is capable of processing a word length that ranges between 4 bit up to 64 bit. But in a modern day technology developments, the word length has increased and according to the range. So there is additional timer which is present in a microcontroller, or it is acts as a watchdog. And there are memory storage of different types which is present in the microcontroller, and they are act as a storage devices. So the architecture of microcontroller is a internal hardware design which is important to the understand of applicability of its architecture for the different reasons. We use this device for different applications or different reasons. So the design is not too complex and easy to understand. So the architecture define every section is very clearly and distinctly. So we will see what are the components in detail. First one is CPU. CPU means what? Central Processing Unit. This unit, that is arithmetic logic unit, and also control unit, CU, some other components to which are important for the functioning. So it is the main or primary device and coordinate the communication between the peripheral devices such as memory, output, input, these are. So the all arithmetic and logical operations which are performed by this unit. Then timing to be maintained of the communication between CPU and different components in the device which is controlled by this control unit. So this component is used for these purposes. The next one is program memory. In program memory, whenever instructions are given by the CPU, that are recorded in the stored in the program memory. So on an usual note, it is also termed as a read-only memory, that is ROM. And it stores data whenever the device is not functioning, or it is in off mode, or it turned off. So there are stored record of the functions and implementation of the various actions of the device control. So even on the possibility of a complete reset, there is no alteration of any data in this unit. So the modern modules of the program memory are actually made up by using electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Means what? Double EPROM, which is also known as non-volatile memory. So this is the function of the program memory. The next one is data memory. It is in the microcontroller and which is totally responsible for the storage of values of a temporary data and variables. So it is also store intermediate results and some other data which are important for the proper functioning of the program. Then we can call it as a random access memory, that is RAM, and this is volatile memory. So the commonly systemized registers and include the special function registers, that is SFRs, and also memory locations are accessible by the user in this unit. So next one is input and output ports. Why we are using this block? These ports are one that provide physical connection of the microcontroller to the outside world, that is with peripheral devices. That's why we use this port. These are sensors that are present in the ports and they assist in allowing input of data from external sources into microcontroller. So the data which is received from the input ports is usually manipulated, and that is what will decide the data which will be the output port. Most of the ports which is present in the microcontroller function both as input also as a output, and they perform dual functionality as input as well as output. So next one is clock generator. Clock generator is nothing but a oscillator. So the synchronization of data and the flow of the commands need to be sincere and orderly. So the clock signal helps in this important functioning of the microcontroller. The next one is operation. Operation is very smoothly and very simply. So it is an integral and important part of a microcontroller for its architecture. And in addition to that, timing circuit which needs to be provided, and this is in the form of crystal. That's why we called it as oscillator or clock generator. The next one is analog to digital converter or digital to analog converter, ADC and DAC. So in this converter, there are very useful to convert output signal into necessary form, means analog to digital and digital to analog. Means what? For an instance, the data which is available in the form of analog signal, it can be converted into the form of digital signal and vice versa. So we can differentiate this signal in these two types. So this is all about architecture. Then we will see what are the features of microcontroller. The modern microcontrollers are built with a complex instruction set computer, that is CISC, inside of them, and the benefit of that is instructions are macro type. So it is used to replace number of instructions together. This is features. The new technology has helped to make the microcontrollers that consume very less power. Also, they commonly support voltage of 1.8 to 5.5 volt range. That is, in this range, the microcontrollers are support to any device. The next one is microcontrollers are very user friendly and also quite reliable because they are use advanced memory or ROM memories, which are high end benefits of technological improvements like EPROM are better and much more capable in storage functions. So it is also more erase or write cycles. These are some features of microcontroller. Next we will see what are the advantages and disadvantages of the microcontroller. First of all, we will see what are the advantages. Advantages is what? Design more compact and easy to use. Then the cost of microcontroller is very cheap. Then all the pins which is present in the microcontroller can be programmed, or we can use every pin in this controller. The next, interfacing of ROM, RAM and input output ports in simple way, and it is very easy to interface. Then troubleshooting is quick, easy and convenient. Then data which is stored in microcontroller is well, and even on reset it, if you want to be erased, then also you can reset it. So these are some advantages of microcontroller. The next, what are the disadvantages? In disadvantages, it is very complex architecture. Means suppose you have to remove any block, or you have to add any block in this, so that it is very complicated, because you have to interface with each and every pin configuration. That's why it is complex architecture. And they are not suitable for the high power devices, because the power range is in between 1.8 to 5.4. That's why we cannot arrange high power devices. Then they can perform only limited operations at the same time, means multiple operations it does not perform by the microcontroller. And it is generally used in only micro equipments, small equipments. So it has the limitations on the capacity of the storage of data, means this is limited capacity using this controller. Then it can overheat very quickly, and since it is tiny and has a complex set of peripherals. The next one is applications. What are the applications of 8051 microcontroller? Here are some applications which is mainly used in day-to-day life and in industrial applications also. First of all, we will see what are the day-to-day life applications. There is light sensing and controlling devices, then temperature sensing and controlling devices, then fire detection and safety devices, automobile applications, defense applications. These are some day-to-day life applications. Then some industrial application. In industrial application, industrial instrumentation devices or process control devices are the applications of industrial devices, industrial applications. Then next one is measurement application. In measurement, in voltmeter, we can use microcontroller. Then measuring and revolving objects. Then current meter objects, handheld metering systems. In all this we can use microcontroller. The next one is embedded system. In embedded system applications, there is Arduino managed high sensitive LDR based power saver for the street light control system, or the temperature humidity monitoring system for the soil based on the wireless sensor network using Arduino. In that also we can use microcontroller. Then RFID based electronic passport system for easy governance using Arduino. Then Arduino based RFID sensor devices. Then Arduino based DC motor speed control. Then Arduino based line following robot. Then Zigbee based automatic meter reading system. Then GSM based electricity energy meter billing with the on-site display. Also these are some embedded applications. Then Android phone, everyone know what is Android phone. Then speak recognition in that, so that voice command based notice board. Also parking availability indication system. Then voice controlled home appliances, remote controlled home appliances, PC, mouse operator, electrical load control using VB applications. Then solar highway lighting system with auto turn off in daytime. The next one 8051 microcontroller based wireless energy meter. Then farmer friendly solar based electric defense for the deferring cattle. Then vehicle movement sensed street light with the daytime auto off features. These are some embedded applications of the microcontroller. Then we will see a short summary of this lecture, that is microcontroller is a very convenient processing tool. Then the architecture clearly defines the speciality of the microprocessor. At same time it carries along with few advantages, a few disadvantages in uses, but small devices or micro devices, they are very useful and convenient also. So in fact they have been upgraded and are always on the process of new developments of the peripherals which is inside them, and this is bound to be an impressive thing to use in micro appliances. So this is the all about microcontroller introduction. So we have studied the introduction of microcontroller in this chapter. So I hope you guys all understand. If you have any query, you can contact me anytime. So till then, thank you very much. Have a good day.